Hey guys, it's Pat with Off Pavement. Hey, we're going to do two things today. One is we're going to get the old headliner out of the XJ. Actually, the fabric's gone. We tore that off a while ago. But the fiber board is still up in the roof. So we're going to get that out of there. We're going to get that cleaned up and get it ready for new fabric, which we picked up last night. And then we're going to address a couple of issues with some cabling. We have both of our antennas, one for the CB and one for our race radio from Rugged Radios. We have the cables, antenna cables mounted up above the headliner, between the headliner and the sheet metal. I have one of those in a loop, which is a no-no from what I understand. So we're gonna address that, get that taken care of, route those properly. And then we're gonna add the wiring for our rear collision dust light that we installed about a month ago as a result of our experiences on the JP Dirt and Drive running through northern Arizona. We encountered some dusty conditions. As you can imagine, 100 Jeeps running down the trail. It gets a little dusty and you can only spread out so far to try and see. And those conditions a lot of times can be dangerous if you don't know that the vehicle in front of you is there. And so having some racing experience in the desert, it's a requirement on any desert vehicle, race vehicle, to have a rear collision light. Usually it's an amber and a blue. We are now have installed an amber one. So we're gonna get that wired up today as well. So hang tight, we're gonna get the Jeep in here and get her opened up and we'll start getting everything laid out and we'll get her started. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get up here with this T50 and get the seatbelt harness out of the way. And then pretty much everything is going to be screws. And we're gonna need to get all of this out. And you're obviously gonna wanna remember where all this stuff goes. Pull our speakers out, our grills out, they just pop out. And I'm gonna get, we have one screw here, it's 3 here, and a connector for the vanity mirror lights. We have, this has 2 screws in it, this slides out, disconnects, and now we can go ahead and pull the bracket out for the radios. And then I think this is ready to pull out. So we'll get Sherry to give us a hand and we'll pull this thing out and we'll start tackling the wiring. Okay, so we've got our backing board out and we've begun the process of getting all of our wiring tied up and nice and neat and clean. After that, we're going to go back inside and we're going to finish getting the rest of that 17-year-old glue and foam off of that backing board. And you can see it stuck up in the corners there. We used a Scotch-Brite industrial strength heavy-duty scouring pad. This thing is very stiff and very porous and does a great job of grabbing all that old material and getting it off of that board, as you want that thing ultra smooth. So here it is. We've got the material on there. We're going to let this cure just a little while longer and then we're going to go about the process of getting it back in the Jeep. All right, guys, well, there it is. We have the headliner is complete now. We've got it back in the Jeep. All of our interior and trim pieces are back in. The speakers are in, interior lights, CB, race radio, that's all back in place. The only thing we don't have right now is we don't have our sun visors in because we want to match that material as well. We just happened to catch the other night a video from Matt over at Bleepin' Jeep who talked about these very sun visors. So we're going to give that a look one more time and we're going to take a stab at it and see if we can make ours come out as good as Matt's. Just a little bit of wisdom on this. When you're cleaning this fiber board and getting it ready for the new material, get everything off of there. If there's any old glue balled up on there or any old foam or material, if you spray that new glue down and lay that material on there, it's going to transfer through and you're going to see it. And that's not what you want. You want this thing to look as good as new, if not better. So just make sure that you take the time and get all that stuff on there. Laying the material out's not that hard. It does help to have an extra set of hands. But there's not a lot of working time. We used a 3M brand glue that's specifically for headliners and fabric, and there's not a lot of working time. This stuff sets up and I mean it is sticky. We had a little piece of material gather up and we tried to pull it apart and deform the material a little bit, you really do risk tearing that material because stuff is sticky and it doesn't want to come apart. So just be cautious there. That extra set of hands is also going to help you a little bit with keeping the material taut. So as you're working it out, you don't have it gathering up in areas like I did. And start from the front and work your way to the back. I know on the 2001 XJ, the speaker pod is kind of integrated as part of that entire mold, unlike the previous models where I think it's a separate unit. So it's a little bit trickier as you get back there. Maybe not let your tack time go so long so you get a little more working time with it. So there you have it. The headliner's back in, the power tank is in, we've got that all mounted up, and our dust light is all wired. The only thing we need to do right now is take that wiring from the back, move it it's up to the front now. We just need to make the connection between our pre-wired switch and the center console and the wiring stubbed out under the dash and connect those two, and we're good to go. So there you have it. That's it. If you like what you see here, give us a like. If you have a comment or a question, put it below. I'll try and answer those to the best of my ability and help you guys out in any way that I can. And subscribe. The more subscribers we get, obviously that helps us grow and get a little bit bigger and kind of move ahead. And that's something that I really want to do for you guys. I really enjoy doing this. And you know, we've done a lot of stuff to the XJ, and I plan on doing a walk around on a lot of the projects we've done previously, and hopefully the stuff that we're going to do in the future, and maybe to some other rigs as they come through. So again, I'm Pat with Off Pavement. Have a great time, and we'll see you next time.